Okay, we are back. This is part two, a continuation from part one. And I was saying that for this run, I would be playing as the witch. So once you pick your character and they give you the character's lore, they tell you what league you will be playing in the left. You pick your character's name and then you enter the game. You will be met with a loading screen and then you will be placed on a beach. Now, I'm going to skip all tutorials, but because you would be new in the game, you would leave them on. Now, I will admit that while you leave them on, from what I can remember, majority of the way that the game is going to be played, by the way, you can ignore everything on the left. This is just some stuff that I'm messing with that I will get to much later on. But while you are playing the game will pop up little notifications to let you know what is happening and remind you of little things that you could be doing that could be helping you. So you will be playing the game normally. You will just have pop-up tutorials to remind you of things as you play. I would say for your first run, maybe even your first two runs, keep tutorials on just in case. Once you have really understood what's going on in the game, then feel free to skip all tutorials. Okay, so when you wake up on the beach, which every character wakes up on the beach, you will be greeted with a weapon that your character uses. Because I'm picking the witch, a wand will be on the beach when I land. Warriors, I believe, get some kind of hammer, mace, or something of the sort. Duelists, I believe, are greeted with a sword. Shadows, I believe, a dagger. Rangers, a bow. Scions, I believe, a dagger. And Templars, a staff. I think that covers everybody. You will pick the weapon up by coming over to it, pressing it, interacting with it, and boom, you have the weapon in your hand. Now, sorry. Now, if you are playing on mouse and keyboard, you hover over that weapon, click it, and you interact with it. Controller, I believe it's the normal button you would usually interact with everything. So X on PlayStation, A on Xbox, I believe. I could be wrong about that. But once you pick that weapon up, you will notice in the bottom right, first off, on your screen, right? Your top right of your screen has a map. This is your mini map. This is what you will use to get around the game. This is what you will use to be able to see things. Orange doors on your map are places that you can enter. That little weird yellow and orange thing moving, that is you. The background moving behind it is the background. You can go into your settings, like your actual game settings. If you pause the game and you go to options, you can find settings for your mini map as well as your extra map, which is your actual. Technically, you have three maps. You have a world map where you can see where all your missions and connecting areas are. You have a mini map where you can see whatever is going on in the top right of your screen. And then you have a transparent, like, overlay map, which is a map that sits in the middle of your screen. While I play the game, I keep the transparent map open pretty much 24/7. It lets me see the layout of everything because I am a little bit more comfortable with just running and killing things. I can multitask by looking at the overlay map as well as myself, seeing where it is I need to go. Sometimes I turn it off and then turn it back on. It's just muscle memory for me. If you were playing on keyboard and mouse, I believe that button to open up that map is tab, and to open up the world map is U. If you're playing on a controller, I believe it's set to your D-pad, or they may have it tied to something else, which you can check in the settings that show you your skill tree, which we will get to. Okay, now here we are, looking back at other pieces of the UI in case this is somewhat new to you. The left-hand side is your health. It is a red globe. I have settings on that determine the numbers of certain things, like how much life I might have or how much shield I might have. I just change that in my settings. You just go to options. I believe it's UI, and you can see it there. Um, Next to my health potion is this little button that says menu, and then a set of capsules or beakers or tubes or something like that. These are actually called flasks, and they are the equivalent to potions in pretty much any game that you play. So as you can see, you have this orange button next to your potions, and it says menu. This menu, once you click it, it basically just helps you navigate throughout the UI, go into your options and the special shop where you can spend real money on cosmetics. I am aware that if you play on controller, this will look completely different, and for that, I apologize. I feel like half of what I'm saying should still be relevant, but if you're on PC, the computer, this should look pretty much identical to yours. So you have two red potions in space 1 and 2. You have nothing in space 3 and 4, and then you have one blue potion in space 5. The blue potion obviously is mana for regenerating your mana whenever it gets low. The reds are obviously life for regenerating your life whenever it gets low. Me personally, I like to take my mana potion and put it in space 2, and if I need to use another red potion, I'll put it in space 3. You can move these around to your desire and figure out what feels comfortable for you there. Um, Obviously, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are what you can press to use these potions. You can also change that in your settings if you do not want to press those numbers. Now we have the right side, which instead of having a red, you have a blue, and the blue is your mana. For those who do not play games like these pretty often, mana is just your magic. Magic is just a resource that you can use to keep using abilities. So, obviously, abilities will cost magic, they will cost mana. And whenever your mana goes down, you can use mana potions to bring your mana back up so that you can use those skills. To the left of the mana, however, you will see I have 3 blank spaces on the top and 5 blank spaces on the bottom. If you are a controller player, this will look different for you. Once again, I apologize. I know, I believe in tutorial, they hold your hand on navigating through all of these as well. But just in case if they don't, and you don't see another video from somebody else that could be helpful, once again, put it down in the comments and I can make a video about it. So as you will notice, first off, you will probably notice that the hotkey commands on these spaces for me is going to be different for you. So for example, the top middle says space, and then the two on the far right on the bottom row say M5 and M4. I am using the options in my settings to change the input keys for certain things. So for me, as of late, it's more comfortable for me to use left click on the first top left space, right click on the farthest right, and I think they have middle mouse for the middle. I don't like using middle mouse, so I put space there. And then QWE, and then mouse 5 and mouse 4 are the extra buttons that I have on my mouse, and that's why it is set up like that. For controller players, once again, I apologize. It'll be a little different for you guys. Regardless, the empty spaces are where you will put your skills, your abilities, the different things that you can do. Right now, when you pick up a weapon, the only ability that you will have is this icon that looks like a sword, which means this is your basic attack. No skills, no extra skills required. As long as you have this weapon, you can do a basic attack. So that's what this icon is for. It is a basic attack. If you were, this is for PC players. Controller, I think it's if you hold L2, but once again, I know you have to check your settings for that. For PC players, if you hold left control, it will open up another set of abilities that you can use. So the whole bottom row will change to something like Control plus Q, Control plus W, Control plus E. This will be for later on. You will see me utilize this, and I will explain a little bit more what it's usually used for, or at least from what I've seen it as. But this is just to give you the basic layout of what all these spaces are. And they are where you are going to be putting your abilities and different powers for when you get into the game. And of course, what that sword icon is, which is your basic attack. Next to that, you will see a gray eye, which I think is supposed to be a help icon. I don't know. I don't often use it. And then next to that, you should see a green shop button, which I believe takes you to the cosmetic shop. But once again, I don't go around clicking these buttons. I have things set to a certain hotkey on my keyboard for all that extra stuff. And the game by default will put a portion of that stuff on your keyboard or controller. So that's just the basic rundown. Okay. So now, in between the red and blue bar, you will see a bar at the bottom of your screen. It'll most likely look exactly like this, completely blank. This is your EXP bar. This lets you know how much more experience you need before you level up. If you are playing on a mouse and keyboard, you can hover your mouse over this and it will give you a percentage. The way that this works and a lot of games work is you might need 5 out of 5 EXP to hit the next level. And then once you get really, really high in the levels, you might need 1,000,000 out of 2,000,000 EXP to hit the next level. So that pull just continues to grow. The more you kill, the quicker you level up. Okay. This will fill up yellow as you kill things. And if you don't want to hover your mouse over it to see the exact percentage, you can just look down at that bar, and the closer it gets to the end, the closer you are to leveling up. And when you do level up, your health automatically fills up, your mana automatically fills up. I think your potions do as well. And it's as if you've got a second chance to fight if, for whatever reason, you were about to lose whatever fight it is you were going to lose. Okay, so now let's get back to it. You picked up your first weapon and you talked to the guy that's laying down with the exclamation mark over his head. This exclamation mark usually means that somebody wants to talk to you. Sometimes that comes with a quest, sometimes that's just used for pushing through story, sometimes it's just some extra information in case you want to learn about the lore. You won't really know until you interact with that character. So, at the beginning of tutorial, when you're on the beach and you've picked up your weapon, you talk to that character. That character basically tells you, "Oh my gosh, I'm glad that you're awake. We've been stranded on this beach." Maybe something about his leg being broken or something. And as he's talking, I mean, you could skip it if you want. If you don't want to and you just want to listen to the Lord, then listen to it. But a zombie that you would think is dead, it looks like a corpse that's laying right beside him, ends up coming to life and starts attacking him. And it kills him. Now, the weapon that you picked up is what you're supposed to use in order to save him from dying. But no matter what happens, he's going to die anyway. Once you have killed that zombie, it will drop a special gem. This gem is your first actual ability. So congratulations, you now have an ability. Because I'm playing a witch, this ability is Fireball. For other classes, it will be a different ability. Take notice that the gem that you pick up will correspond to that specific character and their attribute. So a witch's intelligence, which is blue, so Fireball is a blue gem. It is literally blue. If you're going Marauder, you will probably have a red gem. If you're going Duelist, you will probably have a green gem, which is Dexterity. Ranger will be a green gem, which is Dexterity. Templar I believe you will have a blue gem, which is intelligence, right? Um, just piggybacking Shadow, you should have a green gem, which is dexterity, right? That will be your first actual skill that you will unlock after you have beaten the zombie. All right, we've covered that bare bones. This next one is going to be talking about sockets because sockets did change specifically during this season. And I don't know if it's going to be like this for the rest of the game. People are making it sound like it will be. So I'm just going to let you know the potential changes and what it has to offer and probably what to look forward to. And after that, it should be a little bit more about the tutorial, and then maybe a video after that. It will be into the actual game. Hopefully, this helped.